We're moments away from starting the trial, and now the judge brings the jury in, and he turns to me and says, "Mr. Oginski, is the jury acceptable?" Now I get up, and what happens if I say, "Your Honor, the jury is not acceptable"? You want to know the answer? Come join me for a moment as I share with you some great information. Hi, I'm Gerry Oginski. I'm a New York medical malpractice and personal injury attorney practicing law here in the state of New York. So now we've just finished picking a jury. We're now moments away from starting the trial. The judge brings the jury into the courtroom and turns to me. On the record, there's a court reporter present and said, "Mr. Oginski, is the jury acceptable?" If I say no, the judge is going to do a double take and say, "What did you say?" Because in every single case, at least the ones that I've been involved in, the jury at that moment in time that we're ready to start the trial is always acceptable. And if I say yes, he'll then turn to my adversary and say, "Mr. Defense Attorney, is the jury acceptable to you?" And he'll likewise say, "Yes, they are." But what happens if I say no? So now the judge is going to call the attorneys up to the bench and say, "What's going on? What is not acceptable?" And now I have to tell him specifically. Now, that is really not the time for me to tell the judge that there's a problem with the jury. Unless, of course, there's something that occurred or brought to my attention from the time that we finished picking the jury up until the time that we're moments away from starting the trial. But typically, if I have a problem with any of the jurors, before we actually finish jury selection, I need to bring that matter to the judge's attention, because that's the right time to deal with it, not at the very beginning of trial, not when there are 6 jurors plus alternates sitting there waiting for the trial to start. Everybody's in the courtroom, the witnesses are in the courtroom, the clients are in the courtroom, everybody's ready, set to go. And that is not the time to go ahead and tell the judge, "Judge, there's a problem with the jury," because now the judge has to take time and figure out exactly what the problem is and how to deal with that specific problem. And really, you don't want to embarrass yourself. The judge doesn't want to embarrass himself by having to delay the start of the case simply because the issue should have been resolved a day or two earlier, and now here we're bringing it to the judge's attention. So why do I share this great information with you? I share it with you just to give you an insight and an understanding into what can happen during the course of an accident trial or a medical malpractice trial or even a wrongful death trial here in the state of New York. You know, I realize you're watching this because you likely have questions or concerns about your own particular matter. Well, if you're thinking about bringing a lawsuit and your matter happened here in the state of New York and you've got legal questions, what I encourage you to do is pick up the phone and call me. I can answer your legal questions. You know, this is something I do every single day and I'd love to talk to you. You can reach me at 516-487-8207 or by email at Gerry, Gerry, at oginski-law.com. That's it for today's video. I'm Gerry Oginski. Have a great day.